Hype job! Extravagant claims about a person or product, usually perpetuated by fanboys of a person or product in an attempt to create propaganda to further their own personal motives.
I'm gonna keep it 100 though. Don't hype IOTBA and Red Glove up like that. I still gotta get work with Red Glove. That nigga.
My boy Red Glove will ice you, boy. He'll ice you, boy. Say you look, Jalik, you can't fuck with Red Glove on his war state. How about that?
I ain't really changed, it's the same old rebel, still a radical. I'm passionate, it's just another level. AC told me I should fight back, they don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life rap. BJ told me I should fight back, they don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life rap.
What up, everyone in the YTBC? Big shout out to the UGCN hashtag come back to boxing. When you get a chance, go to the description box of this video. All the links to my brothers in both those communities are listed there. Give them a listen. If you feel compelled to do so, please subscribe. So this is a continuation of my boxing terms dictionary. This is another word that I see a lot of people using, and apparently they don't know the definition of the word, and that word is hype job. You know, it's funny because last night I was listening to a live stream, and there was a little bit of a debate going on He Knows His Sports. That's the name of the channel, He Knows His Sports. If you haven't checked them out, you know, I would say give them a listen. You know, it's another perspective. As far as I could tell, he's not really pushing an agenda. So just give him a listen. You know, you may want to subscribe even. But anyways, I was listening to this live stream he was doing, and basically he was hosting debates. And a shout out to D. Jefferson. He was involved in the debates that was going on He Knows His Sports. And he had another gentleman on the stream. To be honest, I don't remember his name. I don't know if he has a channel, but it was funny because the question was the question that was posed is, and this was actually He Knows His Sports. He wasn't debating. He just had a question for everybody who was debating, and that is, who are your top heavyweights? Like, who are your top heavyweights, and in what order do you have them? And no lie. This is exactly what this guy's response was. Well, I shouldn't say exactly. I'm going to paraphrase somewhat. But I'm going to be I feel what I'm about to say is pretty much on the nose. He was just like, Wilder, 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 Wilder. So, the only name he gave was Wilder. In his opinion, Wilder's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Then he proceeded to say that he is not a fanboy. Now that word right there deserves a video in itself as a boxing term definition in the Red Glove Militant's official boxing dictionary. But that's not this video. But he went on to say that he's not a fanboy. And what really inspired this video is he later on went on and said that Anthony Joshua is a hype job, and Luis Ortiz is better than him. Now let that sink in. See, here's the thing. All right. If you say that Anthony Joshua is a hype job, I will disagree with you. But as long as your logic is sound, like your logic applies across the board, then I'm not really going to have a whole lot to criticize. I'll disagree with you, and that's that. But I have to criticize this guy's his logic on the word hype job, because Anthony Joshua is, first off, he's a gold medalist. But aside from that, he was the unified champion. He went and collected those belts one by one. He beat a Hall of Famer in Vladimir Klitschko. Because Vladimir Klitschko is going to be a Hall of Famer. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's what's going to happen. Vladimir Klitschko reigned over the heavyweight division for a decade. What nobody fucking with him in 10 years. Okay? Anthony Joshua beat Parker. Anthony Joshua beat Povetkin. You know, and why do I bring up Povetkin? Because Povetkin has one of the best resumes in the heavyweight division. I mean, he beat Charles Martin. Hey, it is what it is. Beating Charles Martin was the equivalent to beating Bermane Stiverne, in my opinion. Both guys had no business holding those titles, and they lost their in their first title defenses. When it comes to boxing, it's survival of the fittest. But that is who had the belt at the time, so he gets credit for beating him. So, I mean, it's quite ridiculous that this guy would call Anthony Joshua a hype job and then go on to elevate Luis Ortiz, whose best win is Bryant Jennings. That is his best win. He has no other names, no other victories on his resume better than Bryant Jennings. The same Bryant Jennings that was beaten by Vladimir Klitschko, who is not Vladimir Klitschko's best win, by the way. So if Anthony Joshua beat Klitschko, who's a future Hall of Famer, who reigned over the heavyweight division for 10 years, and already beat Jennings before Luis Ortiz, and Jennings is not his best win, then how is Luis Ortiz better than him? How is Luis Ortiz not a hype job when you're considering Anthony Joshua to be a hype job? It's like I said, if your logic applies across the board, then I can disagree with you but still respect your opinion. But when your top 5 heavyweights is all Deontay Wilder, and and then you're going to say that Luis Ortiz is elite, and you're going to say that Anthony Joshua is a hype job, when Anthony Joshua was not only a world champion, but a unified world champion, and Luis Ortiz has never been that, then I have to question your logic. I can't respect your reasoning, because the reasoning is not there. You can say you're not a fanboy all you want, but when you don't give credit to anybody else except for Deontay Wilder, I'm sorry, that's exactly what you are. But anyways, back to the hype job. Yeah, Luis Ortiz is a hype job. And you know what? I like Luis Ortiz. I really do. But the fact of the matter is, you have a lot of people who, just because he fought Deontay Wilder and they want to make Deontay Wilder look better than what he really is, want to elevate this dude. They say shit like, oh, well, he was avoided. Okay, he was avoided. So let's go ahead and put this in perspective. So Luis Ortiz, he has one loss, but he was avoided. But you give him respect. Did Luis Ortiz not turn down $7 million to fight Anthony Joshua? Did he not avoid Anthony Joshua? So if he gets all this credit for being avoided, and he has a loss, and Anthony Joshua has a loss, but was avoided by that guy, then where's his credit? I'll be waiting. Anyways, to all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or you just so happen to stumble on this video, tell me what y'all think. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated.